Hey guys, I want to share with you a little bit of a variation on the Parsons jig head craw that I've kind of come up with, and it mixes the basic look of a bugger and the profile of a bugger with the traditional look of Parsons craw. So as we look at this, I'm going to start you midway through the process here. You'll see that I've tied in at the center some marabou for the mouth. Some silly legs or just some rubber legs in the middle there, and the pine squirrel strips. So those are all tied in normal at the back end. I've also stubbed in this UV polar chenille, or sorry, yes, medium polar chenille, not UV polar chenille on the back. What I'm going to do to add this fly a little bit different, you'll remember with the normal Parsons craw jig, that I ran some dubbing for the collar material, and there wasn't much in the way of things working themselves up. Now I'm going to take some black saddle hackle feathers, and I'm going to do something a little bit different and attempt to vary this fly and make it effective. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at this as I comb through. I want something fairly thin in terms of hackle up top, but something that works to that kind of full body at the end. So let's go ahead and select this feather. I think this feather should do it. Okay, so this piece here is perfect. It's got that wavy back end, and we'll actually keep that and then that thin profile tip. So just in front of that chenille that we've already tied in, we're going to go ahead and wrap the tip of that hackle in, and we'll work forward from there. So, right. So pretty basic approach here. Now this UV or this polar chenille stuff, it can be a little bit difficult to work with at times in terms of keeping it uniform, so you definitely want to make sure as you wrap up the hook that you do a good job of that. Other color combinations that I've found really work well in this is like a tan kind of creamish body with this black hackle feather, and I'm sure you could find many different hackle colors that would fish very well for this, but I happen to have black, so that's what I'm going to tie. I do like this, the look that this polar chenille gives me. You can see where it's standing up off the hook and giving me a whole lot of texture in there. I want to, as best we can, try to avoid capturing any of our tips that polar chenille, so you can kind of preen it back a little bit if you want as you go. Be real nice if I had a bobbin cradle, but no, so that's what we're working with. So we wrap it as we go forward. Once again, preen, wrap and preen, wrap and preen, wrap and preen, and we'll work our way up to the tip of this jig hook here. Now we definitely want to try to keep that body as uniform as we can. It's going to present a lot thinner profile body than the regular chenille that we showed in the last tie, but that's still manageable and still shouldn't create too much of an issue, because we're going to go ahead and come in and run that feather to really give us some movement and hopefully kind of set off a fish's lateral line at that point. But alright, so we'll snip that off once it's cinched down. Okay. We're going to go ahead and take, and we're going to wrap this counter directional towards the way we just ran our polar chenille. Sorry, struggling with that one today. And just give it kind of some segmentation. It looks a lot like a bugger wrap. The big thing that we want to build up towards the tip is this webbier material. We actually want it in our fly, and we want a pretty nice thick old collar of it wrapping over the top of this. So we'll go ahead and capture, and you really kind of got to play carefully with this because you could mat down that collar pretty easily if you're not careful. But for the moment, we'll go ahead and sweep that backwards and capture the bottom stem of that, and go ahead and clip off the stem without clipping off the rest of the fly. So come in with a few wraps, particularly where I cut that stem so close, to keep that stem down. And you have something like that with that nice kind of bugger profile, but now it's got these crawdad tail and crawdad finish to it. We'll go ahead and take a whip finish approach to tie that down. And as I showed in the last video, I'm going to take and use Sally Hansen's Hard as Nails in the black color. I don't know if she sells, or if that brand sells olives or browns, but I would assume they do. You could probably buy those and be just as effective, but I found the natural color is what I first fished this in, and I've caught fish aplenty using it. So biggest thing that you got to be aware of here, this happens a little bit with your dubbing collar too, but we want to go ahead and make sure that we stay off of, with this Sally Hansen's, we want to go ahead and stay off of the hackle as much as we can, and this stuff gets drippy, so needless to say my table is covered in some nail polish. But you take and wrap it, and you can get this down into the thread base, and it acts as a little bit of head cement agent, really. Now, fairly durable in terms of the color sticking here. Obviously not quite, acrylic paint durable, but in a pinch, this black nail polish is pretty good. So yeah, I'll paint it there. You'll notice that I haven't really touched the eye of the hook. You can mess with that if you want to on your own and whatnot, but that's how she would look, and that's been a pretty good little fly for us. Another variation of this, you could just run a straight bugger setup off of this, and I would assume it'd fish pretty well too. So alright, hopefully that helps, and yeah, have a good one.